Teacher Talking Sports, what it does, what it do, how we live in. I have previous videos where I did redrafts of entire decades, both for the NFL and the NBA. So I redrafted all players who were eligible to be drafted in the 1980s, 1990s, and 2000s. Each decade, put all those players into one 2 round draft and decided how it would go. If it sounds difficult to do, it very much is. Put a lot of work into them. And now I'm going to start MLB with the 1980s. So a 2 round draft of all the MLB players eligible to be drafted in the 1980s. Keep in mind, if it was an international guy, some of these guys signed as free agents. And they were not eligible to be in a draft, so they are not included. These are guys that only could have been drafted in the draft. 2 rounds, 30 teams, so 60 players. I'm only going to talk about first round guys, not too long, but second round, I'll quickly name who 31 to 60 would be. So let's get into it. Of course, as a subjective draft, let me know in the comments how yours would go down. Let's get started with, and let me specify, since you see who's number one, off the field stuff. Issues, PEDs were not taken into consideration. It's just how the player performed on the field. Let's get started now. First overall pick, Barry Bonds. He was selected sixth overall in 1985 in real life. All-time leader in both homers, 762, and walks, 2,558. Bonds incredibly won the NL MVP 7 times in his career. He also has a single-season record with 73 homers in 2001, won 8 Gold Gloves, and had an extraordinary 1,051 OPS. Second, the Rocket, Roger Clemens, 19th overall in 1983. Clemens won 354 games over 24 seasons and was as dominant as they come, as evidenced by his 7 Cy Young Awards, 6 in the AL, 1 in the NL. His 4,672 strikeouts placed him third in the all-time list, and there were 7 seasons where he led his league in ERA. Third, Greg Maddux, 31st overall, 1984. From 1992 to 98, Maddox went 127 and 53 with a 2.15 ERA, 0.97 WHIP, won 4 NL Cy Young Awards, and took home a Gold Glove each year. He won 355 games, and his 18 Gold Gloves are the most of anyone to play in MLB. Fourth, the big unit, Randy Johnson, 36th overall, 1985. 2001 World Series MVP. Johnson led his league in strikeouts 9 times and totaled 4,875 for his career, second behind Nolan Ryan. He won 4 straight NL Cy Youngs with the Diamondbacks from 1999 to 2002. Fifth, Ken Griffey Jr., first overall pick, 1987. In his 22 MLB seasons, Griffey Jr. was named in 13 All-Star games, won 10 Gold Gloves, 7 Silver Sluggers, and was the 1997 AL MVP. He led the AL in home runs 4 times, and the 630 he hit in his career are the 7th most all-time. Sixth, the Big Hurt, Frank Thomas, 7th overall, 1989. The back-to-back AL MVP in 1993 and 94. Thomas slugged 521 homers in his 19-year career. He had 11 seasons where he reached triple digits in RBIs, including 8 straight years from 1991 to 98. Seventh, Tom Glavine, 47th overall in 1984. The 1991 and 98 NL Cy Young. Glavine accumulated 305 wins over his 22-year career. He had 4 other finishes in the top 3 of NL Cy Young voting and finished in the top 8 in ERA for the NL 8 different years. Eighth, Tony Gwynn, selected 58th overall in 1981. An incredible contact hitter, Gwynn won 8 NL batting titles and hit 338 in his 20-year career. He was a 15-time All-Star and amazingly struck out only 434 times in his MLB tenure compared to 790 walks. Ninth, John Smoltz, 574th overall in 1985. Starting his career as an elite starter, Smoltz was the 1996 NL Cy Young winner and twice led the NL in strikeouts. He transitioned into a lights-out reliever later in his career, including his 2003 season where he finished with a 1.12 ERA and 45 saves. 10th, Big Mac, Mark McGwire, 10th overall 1984. McGwire was one of the driving forces during the baseball craze of the late 1990s as he continued to bash combined the Bash, 135 homers in 1998-99, 12-time All-Star with total 583 long balls in his 16-year career. 11th, Jim Thome, 333rd overall, 1989. A prolific slugger, Thome would belt 612 home runs in his career, 8th all time, and also draw 1,747 walks, 7th all time. Excuse me. He drove in over 100 runs 9 times and possesses a career 956 OPS. 12th, Bagpipes, Jeff Bagwell, 110th overall, 1989. Bagwell provided excellent value at the plate during his career with a 408 on base percentage and 449 homers over 15 years. He was named the 1994 MVP, and he finished with an outstanding 1,201 OPS. 13th, Mike Piazza, 1,390th overall in 1988. Piazza's 396 home runs as a backstop are the most in MLB history, hit 427 altogether. He won 10 Silver Sluggers in his 16 seasons and finished with a stellar career batting average of 308. 14th, Barry Larkin, 4th overall, 1985, named the 1995 NL MVP. Larkin racked up 12 All-Star nods, 9 Silver Sluggers, and 3 Gold Gloves over the course of his 19-year career. He walked more than he struck out, 939 walks compared to 817 strikeouts, and stole 379 bases. 15th, Rafael Palmeiro, 22nd overall, 1985. One of just 7 players to amass 3,000 hits and 500 homers in his career, 3,020 and 569 respectively. Palmeiro hit at least 38 homers 9 straight years from 1995 to 2003. For his career, he totaled 1,835 RBIs. 16th, Gary Sheffield, 6th overall, 1986. In his 22-year career, Sheffield had 509 homers, drove in 1,676 runs, and owned a 393 on base percentage. He was named to 9 All-Star teams and finished in the top 8 of MVP voting 5 times, 3 times in the NL, twice in the AL. 17th, Craig Biggio, 22nd overall, 1987, a member of the exclusive 3,000 hit club, finished with 3,060. Biggio won 5 Silver Sluggers, 4 Gold Gloves, and was an All-Star 7 times. His 668 career doubles are the 6th most all-time. 18th, Kenny Lofton, 428th overall in 1988. One of the fastest and most exciting players in his heyday. Lofton won 4 Gold Gloves and was an All-Star each season from 1994 to 99. He nearly hit 300 for his career, 299, and stole 622 bases, 15th all-time. 19th, Trevor Hoffman, 290th overall, 1989. In his 18 MLB seasons, Hoffman saved 601 games, that puts him only behind Mariano Rivera on the all-time list. He was the runner-up for NL Cy Young twice and owned a career 2.87 ERA. 20th, the Crime Dog, Fred McGriff, 233rd overall in 1981. A member of the Braves' 1995 World Series winning team, McGriff hit 493 homers in his career and likely would be a member of the 500 homer club had baseball not gone on strike in 1994. He led both the AL and NL in home runs at different points in his career. 1989 with the Blue Jays, 1992 with the Padres. 21st, Kevin Brown, 4th overall, 1986, a 2-time NL ERA leader. Brown won 211 games in his career and struck out 2,397 hitters. From 1996 to 2001, he was easily one of the top pitchers in the game, combining to go 92 and 45 with a 2.53 ERA and 1.06 WHIP. 22nd, Jeff Kent, 523rd overall in 1989. The winner of the 2000 NL MVP, Kent is the all-time leader for home runs by a second baseman, 351. He had 377 altogether. In 8 and 9 years, from 1997 to 2005, he had over 100 RBIs. The only year he didn't, 93 RBIs in 2003. 23rd, Albert Bell, 47th overall in 1987. One of the most dangerous hitters of his time. Bell averaged approximately 41 homers and 127 RBIs with a 993 OPS from 1993 and 99. During that run, he was the runner-up for AL MVP once and finished 3rd 2 times. 24th, Jim Edmonds, 169th overall in 1988, an 8-time Gold Glove winner. Edmonds was known for robbing countless homers during his career. He also hit 393 home runs of his own and won a World Series with the Cardinals in 2006. 25th, David Cone, 74th overall in 1981. Cone has 5 World Series rings to his name, 4 with the Yankees, 1 with the Blue Jays, and was named the AL Cy Young in 1994. In 450 games, 419 starts, he went 194 and 126 with a 3.46 ERA. 26th, Brett Saberhagen, 480th overall in 1982. While with the Royals, Saberhagen was the AL Cy Young in both 1985 and 1989, leading the league in WHIP both seasons. He had 167 wins, a 3.34 ERA, and a 1.14 WHIP in 16 years in the big leagues. 27th, Will Clark, 2nd overall in 1985. A 6-time All-Star, Clark finished his career with 303 batting average, 284 homers, and 440 doubles. He had top 8 finishes in batting league for the NL in 4 different seasons. 28th, Luis Gonzalez, 90th overall in 1988. It was an extraordinary 2001 season for Gonzalez as he helped the Diamondbacks win the World Series and hit 57 homers with 142 RBIs during the regular season. Recorded 2,591 hits and drove in 1,439 runs in his career. 29th, Doc Gooden, 5th overall in 1982. Named 1984 NL Rookie of the Year. Gooden followed that up the following year by winning NL Cy Young with an absurd season. 24 wins and a 1.53 ERA. While off-the-field issues helped to not keep him on top for long, he still won 194 games over 16 seasons. And the last pick, 30th overall, the first round, Darryl Strawberry, 1st overall in 1980. Much like Gooden, his former teammate with the Mets, Strawberry faced off-the-field issues, which helped lead to a decline. Still, he made 8 straight All-Star games from 1984 to 91 and won 2 Silver Sluggers. So there you have it. First round of all guys eligible to be drafted in the 1980s. Let's quickly go over the second round in order. Picks 31 to 60. I have Brian Giles, Matt Williams, John Olerud, Jimmy Key, Jose Canseco, Robin Ventura, Mark Grace, Steve Finlay, Frank Viola, Kevin A. Beer, David Justice, Mark Langston, Eric Davis, Reggie Sanders, David Wells, Chuck Knobloch, Tim Salmon, Joe Carter, Mo Vaughn, John Franco, Paul O'Neill, Jamie Moyer, Devon White, Bobby Bonilla, Al Leiter, Kenny Rogers, Ron Gant, Ray Lankford, Travis Fryman, and Ken Caminiti. Some others who deserve to be mentioned, we'll call them third-round picks, include Rob Nen, Mickey Tettleton, Wally Joyner, Pat Henkin, Jay Bell, Jeff Montgomery, Jack McDowell, BJ Surhoff, Doug Drabeck, Brian Jordan, Terry Steinbach, Marquise Grissom, Ryan Klesko, Andy Bennis, Tom Gordon, Kevin McReynolds, Brady Anderson, Mark Gubiza, and Tino Martinez. So there you have it, a 2-round draft of all MLB players eligible to be drafted in the 1980s. Again, this was not easy. Let me know in the comments how you would rank some of these, whether it's top 5, top 10, top 20, however you want to do it. I would love to hear your comments. I plan on doing the 1990s and 2000s as well in the near future, just like I did with the NBA and NFL. I'm putting all the sports into one playlist. I think it's like decade redrafts. I forget what I called it. But if you want to binge through them, go ahead. Definitely took a lot of work, but I hope you guys are enjoying them. Don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe. Like the video, share the video, hit the bell for notifications. I'm out.